Today was a pretty crazy day in the world of Call of Duty for a couple of different reasons. Number one, we ended up getting stuff added into Black Ops 3, which we'll have showcases going up for that in a little bit of time probably, but I wanted to get this video out of the way first because, well, it's a lot bigger than just a new weapon and a camo. But on top of those things being added in, we ended up getting what may very well be the first official look at the Black Ops 4 logo. Now this is probably the start of one of my favorite times of the year, speculation, theories, all that kind of stuff as information leaks and news comes out. So of course we'll be keeping you guys updated with everything here, but today was potentially a day in history for the Call of Duty franchise. For those of you guys that don't know, Call of Duty usually ends up starting the promotional material and official reveals along the pipeline of April to May. The earliest we saw before this, if I'm not mistaken, was April 9th for the Black Ops 3 teaser trailer. Then we ended up getting an actual trailer, I think it was on April 26th, if I'm not mistaken once again, but normally we end up seeing it right around the first week of May with some teasers here and there going out a little bit beforehand to prep everybody, and of course those air quote leaks, which to me, I think a lot of them are intentional, as a sort of under the table, unofficial marketing campaign for the game that creates a little bit more hype in terms of the first official look-ins at the game. In World War II last year was actually a fantastic example of that. With the hype around World War II, getting away from thruster and exo movements, a lot of that stuff was really cool to see, and a lot of what was leaked was actually the exact artwork that we saw for World War II. So we've seen a lot of stuff like this in the past, but never so early on. Today, once again, if this is in fact confirmed at any point in time, right now it is not something that's been touched by Activision or Treyarch. This is going to be the earliest that we've ever seen for an official reveal of a logo, title, whatever it may be. Today, March 6th, James Harden entered into Chesapeake Energy Arena in Oklahoma City for the Houston Rockets matchup against the Oklahoma City Thunder. And during that, well, in prime time, with even the NBA tweeting out this specific clip of him walking in, he has a hat that looks like a familiar color scheme and has something that we see to be a crest with 4 demarcations and what may be a Treyarch logo on the side of the hat. So March 6th, 2018, once again, a day in Call of Duty history as the earliest we could potentially end up seeing an official teaser for the next title. So amidst everything that's been going on the past 48 hours, it's been a very big whirlwind of information and things to take in. Firstly, we end up getting a random update to Black Ops 3 in which it gives us a brand new map, which for some reason, you know, as spring approaches, as we end up getting closer to the period where Treyarch starts to promote their stuff, where Black Ops 3 has not really had any content updates in a long time, we get a random update adding a brand new map, a brand new camo, a brand new weapon, and supposedly another weapon at some point in time, but that's unconfirmed at the moment. Then, the next day following, we end up seeing an air quote leak from GameStop and an internal database there within with a ton of different things for listings of merchandise for Call of Duty Black Ops 4, and one with a World at War listing for whatever reason that might be, some speculating once again World at War Remastered, and then today, we end up getting what looks to be a logo for Black Ops 4. So to me, in my books, this is all but confirmed officially at this point in time. With previous partnerships with athletes and of course MVPs alike, Call of Duty has done this sort of thing before where they have a sort of reveal via merchandise in the spotlights, and James Harden being what may be the league MVP in the NBA, well, he's a great candidate to show off, first and foremost, a quick little tidbit of what may be Black Ops 4. So if your first initial reaction is, well, it's not IV for Roman numerals, well, you're just like me, but it is something, the tally marks work just as fine. They do seem to resemble that of the Black Ops 2 skull logo, but that's a different story for a different day. But as it stands right now, it's looking good for Black Ops 4. Now, one thing that is a little bit more of an extension, this isn't all that we got today, surprisingly. We ended up getting a little bit more information from a Kotaku article in which they detailed a little bit about what their sources told them about Call of Duty Black Ops 4. Well, while nothing is in any way, shape, or form confirmed, once again, there's no official statement from Activision or Treyarch, this may be the first official leak in terms of the general gameplay, the storyline, wherever it may be, and it gives us a little bit of the setting. Expanding a little bit more on the initial report and the complete visual of James Harden donning what may be a Black Ops 4 hat, Kotaku ended up giving their report of the accounts and then also decided to add in that there's no indication that this is the actual logo for Black Ops 4. But we've heard from two people familiar with the game's development that the next Call of Duty is indeed a fourth Black Ops, to be developed by Treyarch, the studio behind the first 3 Black Ops games. Just like those games, it will take place in a near future setting. No word on whether James Harden will be a character. So, therefore, once again, going a little above and beyond the initial reporting here, Kotaku ends up saying they have 2 sources close to the development of the game, and therefore adds a little bit more credibility to not only the fact that it will be a Black Ops 4, that this will be the logo for it as well, but also we end up getting a little bit of a situation of he said, she said, of the setting of Black Ops 4, to which, like a lot of people ended up thinking, that it'll be a near future setting for Black Ops 4, very similar to Black Ops 2, and it goes in line with a lot of the things we've already seen in terms of not only just community speculation, but if you guys remember back, there was a job listing over for Treyarch about an environmental designer in which they had to be well-versed in modern weaponry. So we talked about that a couple of months back at this point in time, because that came out quite a bit of time ago compared to now, and in the grand scheme of things, it was way too early to really just get our hopes up for anything, because I think that was back in November or December of last year, to which pertaining to the next title a year later, well, we'd never see something that early on in terms of marketing and promotion. But in the sense that these 2 sources say that it's going to be modern times, well, that matches up, and that's something that is quite cool looking into it, because they've never done a modern setting at that, and maybe I'm just getting a little too far ahead of myself as is, because maybe it is a direct sequel to Black Ops 2. Maybe it's something that goes back to that timeline and carries that on more directly than Black Ops 3 did. Because though in the story arc of Black Ops, it really didn't do all that much for story integrity, and a lot of people were a little upset with that, because in terms of sheer canon, Black Ops 3 was probably the weakest of the storylines since World at War. But in terms of maybe say how much it twisted your mind, if you really got your mind around the plot and really how the story took it, it was a very cool thriller in the sense of figuring out all the puzzle pieces to actually know what it means. But again, in the line of canon, it was no doubt the weakest of the Black Ops games to date. So that said, Black Ops 4 modern setting confirmed by 2 other sources close to the development of the game. That's pretty cool, and literally as of recording this, we got a little bit more information, so hot off the presses here at this one, it might be an indication as to the exclusivity rights or potentially the complete removal of the 30-day exclusivity period. I would be ecstatic for that one. I'd love to play with the community the entire way across the board and no one have to wait for it. But one thing that we end up seeing now is that David Vonderhaar changed his Twitter avatar. And again, while nothing is explicitly stated, it is something that allows us to infer with what we're given. Black Ops 3 was actually the game that marked the start of the PlayStation 4 exclusivity, and most deals for exclusivity between publisher and Sony or Microsoft lasts about 3 years before renewal talks are put into place. Black Ops 4 might see the return to Xbox exclusivity and or the removal of exclusivity entirely, because, well, David Vonderhaar's new profile picture, that's a throwback back to the past, to the old Xbox 360 days. Once again, nothing confirmed, but a strange inference can be made here for this. One thing that I honestly think would be hilarious is if they end up completely joking around, but of course in this volatile time, wouldn't be the greatest idea to say that they're going to be doing it exclusively on last generation, because, well, that's the old avatar system. I think that'd just be hilarious to think about, but regardless, getting off topic, that might be something that we end up seeing as well coming out of today. So 3 big things that we got dropped in a span of, say, 4 or 5 hours, and now, depending on when you watch this, a little bit further on. But it's definitely the time in which, if you're enjoying these sort of things, you might not want to go to sleep all that early today, because things still might be coming out, being thrown more into the mix here, adding to the Black Ops 4 hype. So that said, I think that's where we're gonna wrap it up here. I want to let you guys know this as soon as possible. I got out of class tonight and was immediately like, I need to get home. I need to make a video on this stuff. It is a lot to talk about, and I'm just super excited. I am really excited to see where this goes, what else we get revealed to us, and when. I'm hoping that this just keeps going. I really do. Of course, while this is the earliest we've ever seen for reveals and anything pertaining to the next title in the franchise, it is something that I would still love to see this roll on. I don't want to see a month wait or something like that before our next teaser, because that would just be absolutely killer. But maybe we start to see some more things roll out into tomorrow, Thursday, into the weekend, into next week, whatever it may be. Just keep your eyes peeled, because there's going to be a lot to talk about, I assure you that. So that said, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts down there in the comment section down below. Firstly, Black Ops 4, do you think that was an explicit hint towards the logo of Black Ops 4? Second, do you guys think it will be a near future setting? And third, what do you think of the potential of it returning to Xbox for DLC, or would you guys like to see DLC exclusivity wiped out entirely? Love to get your thoughts and feedback on all of this, so make sure you drop your thoughts down there in the comment section down below. But that said, make sure you guys stick it right here. Subscribe to the channel if you guys have not done so already. Anything Black Ops 4 related or Treyarch 2018, whatever it may be, we're gonna keep you guys up to date with everything you need to know, all comprehensive and in-depth, giving you guys literally everything you need to know. So if you guys are interested, make sure you guys subscribe so you don't miss a single thing. If you guys want to follow me over on Twitter, I'm going to be talking about this stuff as soon as it happens, so that might even be a more immediate way to get your information here out of this. So make sure you follow me over there. If you guys want to also follow on Instagram as well, trying to get a little more active, link is in the description. But that said, I'm excited. Hopefully you guys are excited. I will see you guys later for some more content. Black Ops 4, man, I'm hyped. Hopefully you guys have done a fantastic day. I'll see you guys later. Mine has been Espresso. Take care and peace.